Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm just going to give it a moment or two to allow our attendees to enter into the webinar, and then we will get started. I see you all got the new link, so that's a win for today. So thank you again. Sorry about any confusion. Our previous links got deleted with Zoom, so it was a scramble to get that new link out. So again, we'll just give it another moment for the attendees to get loaded, and then we will get started. Okay, looks like everyone is loaded. I'm sure we'll have a couple join in a few more minutes, but we will go ahead and get started. Again, good afternoon. Thank you for taking some time to attend this webinar on to hear about our potential shift to SISC. Today's webinar is focused on the HMO and the PPO plans. So this webinar is not for our Kaiser members. Those were a couple of weeks ago. And if you are with Kaiser and you have any questions, you can feel free to email myself, Chris Chiropractic, or Edith as well. But today's webinar is high level over our HMO and our PPO plan options. So just that as a heads up. Also, a housekeeping item, the Q&A is open on the bottom of the Zoom link. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them in there for the Q&A. And then further in the presentation, we'll talk about designated webinars to answer live on Q&As and how you could go in further to asking questions and getting some answers about this potential to shift. So we will get started. I will introduce the panel. Again, good afternoon. I'm Crystal Leach, Associate Superintendent. We have Laura Sandora as our SDTA rep with us, Chris Chiropractic for AFSCME. We have Lori Phillips with SISC. And also Devin Devine with Claremont Partners, who has been a partner with the district since I believe 2019, when we started to have this conversation about exiting CalPERS. So again, today's objective, high level overview of what a potential shift from SISC, from CalPERS to SISC will look like, non-Kaiser plan options. We do have a dedicated Q&A currently scheduled for tomorrow night, February 10th, starting at 5:30. All of those Q&As will also be posted on the district's benefits website. So again, thank you for your attendance, and we will get started.
So I have been part of the district's benefits committee since the beginning in 2019, and we do represent all of the labor and management groups in the district. And importantly, I also represent a segment of the staff that has a really high needs son in terms of medical needs, and so we represent a range of use of medical insurance plans as well, which is something that we've been cognizant of throughout the whole process. So the goal was to find the same or better medical insurance options for everybody. We have explored more options than I can count at this point, and really arrived at SISC being the best option to consider as an alternative to CalPERS, because it really does match up the best in terms of seamlessness of transition of coverage, as you'll see in a few minutes here.
So my name is Chris Chiropractic. I've also been in this at the beginning with Devin and Laura and a handful of others. And I just want to reiterate and also, or not reiterate, but explain that a shift out of CalPERS is a big deal. It's not connected to our retirement. at all. We get CalPERS insurance and we get CalPERS retirement. And so by shifting out of the CalPERS insurance, it will not affect our retirement, and it will not affect any long-term disability that is bought through CalPERS. This shift is a big deal because when you leave CalPERS, it's very difficult to get back in. And so we've taken that and ran with it. We have not made this decision lightly. The committee as a whole has proposed to make this shift, and all groups of the committee, including SDTA and AFSCME, are in recommendation of making this shift. However, moving forwards, in order for this shift to happen, it still needs to go through the bargaining process. It still needs to be voted on and ratified from each union and association, and it needs to be finished off with the Board of Trustees approving it. So this hasn't happened yet, but this is definitely something that we all recommend and think it is a good fiscal decision for the district.
Okay. So with that, I am going to share some information about SISC. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lori Phillips, and I am an account manager from SISC, and I am assigned to school districts in Northern California. So sharing information about SISC. Who is SISC? SISC stands for Self-Insured Schools of California, and we are a public schools joint power of authority, so a public entity. And we are the insurance division of the Kern County Office of Education. So we're all classified or certificated public school employees, just like the employees of your school district. And we've been functioning as a JPA for over 40 years now. And we're not an insurance company. We are a pooling resource. We pool school districts together all over the state of California to provide, to share cost and spread risk over a very large population. Like public schools, our board meetings are subject to the Brown Act, so we're open to the public, and our financial statements are of public record. We work in the best interest of our membership. So we think that's really important. We're looking at the membership as a whole. And we're doing this by pooling the resources of over 460 school districts. It's very similar to what you have with CalPERS as a pooling resource, but we focus specifically on schools. And so we have over 325,000 members in our pool that are all school district employees. And we're in 44 counties throughout the state. 1 in every 1,000 Americans is covered by a SISC health plan. So if you guys choose to come over to SISC, you will still have Kaiser options and Anthem options that we offer. You're just going to be in the SISC pool. So a different administrator, but still offering quality plans. So with that, I'm going to turn that over to Devin with Claremont Partners, and he's going to share some information about the comparisons.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Devin Devine with Claremont Partners. The role that my firm played with the benefits committee was to help with the detailed review of the different plan designs from SISC, as well as other group purchasing organizations out there that could be potential alternatives to CalPERS. And I think you'll see today from a few examples the manner in which we went about that analysis. There's a lot of detail in these comparisons that the Joint Benefits Committee went through, and we'll be posting the full benefit design comparisons to the benefits website. But hopefully my remarks today will give you a sense of how to go about doing those comparisons. What we found is, in every instance, the SISC plans were comparable or better than the CalPERS plans. So today's focus is on plans other than Kaiser plans. And among your plans other than Kaiser plans, the Anthem Blue Cross traditional HMO is the most popular. So that's the one that I'm using for the example here. You'll see in the middle column, we have the CalPERS traditional HMO. And then on the far right, we have the SISC Anthem HMO. And it's the same network, meaning it's the same doctors. So really, we're just looking at, okay, are any of the financials going to be different when you go and use the benefit? And the deductible is the same, it's $0. And the co-insurance is the same, it's 100%. So that gets us into looking at copays, such as for an office visit. And there's a small improvement with the SISC Anthem plan, where it's a $10 copay instead of $15. And then you'll see continued in green on the right-hand side, the out-of-pocket maximum is lower for both individuals and families for both medical expenses and pharmacy expenses. It's worth noting that all these coverages are on the assumption that you are in network. And that was the case with the CalPERS Anthem Blue Cross traditional HMO, as well as the SISC Anthem Blue Cross HMO. I know that in some of the feedback that's been coming in with questions about the changes, was questions about chiropractic and acupuncture coverage. It's not standard in all cases, but the Joint Benefits Committee had told us that that was an important part of the coverage. So there's a enhancement from SISC for chiropractic and acupuncture that will also make the benefits better with respect to those coverages, where it's $10 per visit with a total visits of 30, as opposed to $15 per visit and a total limit of 15. I had alluded to a moment ago that for Anthem Blue Cross traditional HMO plan members, the doctors stay the same. It's the same. The Anthem PPO doctors are still the same. It's the Anthem network. It's just getting it from a different place. The part where there could be some things to check on would be for folks who are in the Blue Shield HMO or the HealthNet HMO currently. So if that's you, the best thing to do is to contact Lori Phillips at SISC. She was speaking a moment ago, and she'll be saying some more about what the transition to SISC would look like. Her email is on the screen. I would also note that all of these carriers have protocols for transition of care and continuation of care. So if you're in a situation where you're in sort of ongoing course of therapy, such as for cancer or something complex like that, there will be accommodations that will be made, even if your particular doctor isn't in the Anthem network, so that you can get through that course of treatment. Again, with specific questions about the network or continuation of care, excuse me, need a glass of water, the best contact would be Lori Phillips at SISC. So I'm going to turn it back to Lori to say a few more words about the transition.
Thank you, Devin.
So a quick thing also with when you email Lori is make sure that you add that you're from Sequoia Union High School District, because she deals with a ton of different school districts. So in order to make sure that she's answering the correct questions for us, make sure that you let her know where you're from.
Excellent, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, that's really important. And I'd be happy to as Devin said, check to see if your Blue Shield or your Health Net providers are in the Anthem network for PPO or HMO. That's not a problem. So I want to share some general transition information. Now, some of you may already be enrolled with Anthem or Kaiser. And so you're thinking, I may not have to do anything moving forward if we do go over to SISC. I do want to let you know that you're going to have a special enrollment period that will begin in October for the transition. You're transitioning over to SISC as the new administrator, if you guys choose to do that, effective January 1st, 2023. And so we will need new enrollment forms from all the employees. And this is to get you into our system so we can transmit that information, that eligibility out to the different carriers. Now, we will require supporting dependent documentation. So there is a list that's available out on the district giving you an early heads up of what that documentation is. If you're adding a spouse or a domestic partner or a child, an overage dependent that has, a disabled dependent, they are eligible to be on the plan. So take a look at what those requirements are. And if you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. But with those new enrollment forms, once you complete them, and as soon as we get, the sooner we get them in, the better, because we are going to have to reissue new ID cards for our Anthem members or, Blue Shield Health Net transitioning over to the Anthem. So on the HMO side, all members are going to receive a new HMO, Anthem HMO ID card with the primary care physician noted. For our PPO members, Anthem just issues in the subscriber's name, but if you need a card for your dependents, all you need to do is contact Anthem and they'll provide that dependent cards for you. Next slide. Thanks, Devin. I also want to share with you some of our value-added services or programs that are available to our members. Now, these are services that are outside of your medical plan. They're not part of, Kaiser or Anthem. In this case, we're talking about what's available to our Anthem members. And that could be HMO or PPO. We have an employee assistance program that's provided to all of the employees of the school district. So whether you're enrolled in a medical plan or not, if you're a part-time employee and you don't have coverage, you do have access to the employee assistance program. And that is basically a life program to make things a little bit easier for you. There's various different components, and I'd be excited to share that to you when you guys transition over. There's free short-term counseling, online resources, crisis debriefing. We can do lunch and wellness seminars for employees, along with management training. So that's all included in the employee assistance program that's offered to everybody. We also have a 24/7 physician consultation line. It gives you access to board certified physicians, pediatricians, and therapists for your behavioral health issues for a $5 copay. And that's available to our Anthem members. So if you have a medical condition or you're needing access to a therapist, you can do that through MD Live or access through your normal health benefits. We have Vita Health, which is digital personal health coaching. So our members can take advantage of this online application or do it, via their phone app. It provides you one-on-one coaching for various different types of medical conditions, chronic conditions such as diabetes. Maybe you want to lower your blood pressure or your cholesterol, or you have COPD. You can work with a therapist one-on-one and actually have weekly consultations with them. There's also a therapy component. So if you're suffering from moderate to mild depression or anxiety, you can access through Vita Health. And then they have health trackers and other tools that are available for you. And that's free of charge. We have a program that's called Teladoc Medical Expert Services. We think it's really important that our members have the right diagnosis and they're on the right treatment plan. And so we offer this service to our members, our Anthem members. They can call Teladoc and have any of their medical questions, no questions too big or too small. They can have medical questions answered. They can also engage to get a second opinion from a world leading expert in that, in that realm of needs. So maybe you have a child who has a rare kidney disease, or you've been recently diagnosed with something, or you're scheduled for a surgery. If you want Teladoc to provide a second opinion, they'll collect all the medical records, summarize them, digitize them, and send them to that world-class specialist. And they'll give you that second opinion in written form. They can talk with your family members to go over it. They can talk with your doctor. So that is a service that's available to our Anthem members at no charge. Also, we offer on the prescription drug side of things, you can get your generic medications through Costco at their retail pharmacy locally, or through mail order for a zero copay. And that allows you to get up to a 30 or a 90-day supply of most generics for a zero copay. And you don't have to be a Costco member to access the zero generics. Next slide. So for our Anthem PPO members, I know there are some PPO members at the school district. We have a few additional value-added programs that are available. We have an enhanced oncology benefit through Contigo Health. They partner with the City of Hope, which provides our members the ability to do virtual or in-person consult with specialists at the City of Hope. Now, we're not requiring our members to get, treatment. We're just trying to help them get confirmation on their initial diagnosis, develop a care plan that they can coordinate with their home oncologist. And so that's available to our members at no cost. We have Hinge Health, which provides virtual physical therapy. I know it's really hard sometimes to take time to go have, physical therapy visits. And this is something that you can do at home. So they provide free wearable sensors and monitoring devices, and provide you one-on-one coaching for personalized exercise treatment if you're experiencing back or joint pain. And then we have our hip and knee surgical benefit. That's through Carum, and that provide you the ability to consult with top quality surgeons on your hip and knee replacements and certain spine surgeries. And you actually go to Scripps down in Southern California, and everything's paid for. You have no out-of-pocket expenses if you're on the PPO plan and you choose to go that route. So those are some of the added value services. And with that, I'll wrap it up and send it back to Crystal to go over next steps.
Thanks, Lori. So next steps, as I had shared earlier in the presentation, we do have a Q&A scheduled for tomorrow starting at 5:30 p.m. That will be on the same link that I shared with you all at like 6:30 this morning. And then also the updated link is posted to our district's benefits website. I would encourage you to check the website periodically. There's a lot of information that is uploaded there, copies of these slides, copies of the Kaiser slides, and then Q&As as we go along. Feel free always to email me, Edith, Laura, or Chris if you have any questions. I believe Lori shared her email and contact information earlier as well. So we are here to answer your questions. I know that this can be kind of a big thing to think about. what that potentially looks like. Our Q&A for retirees is scheduled for next Tuesday at 5:30. There's going to be a couple more opportunities for retirees as well. We want to make sure that they have the ability to have all of their questions and concerns addressed. FAQ again posted on the benefits website, and open enrollment is scheduled to start October 2022 if all goes right. So again, thank you all for joining us during your lunchtime, and have a fabulous rest of your day. Thank you.
So I had one question that Katrina brought up. We were looking for some more detailed information on the PPO. I know that we have some information on the website, but is there a place where we have even more detailed information, or a space where we can send people to get that?
I think we could commit to having that up on the website tomorrow.
Awesome. I think that was one of the few, or one of the only ones that was still kind of open in the Q&A section.
Looks like we got the question about the mental health office visits answered, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, everyone, well, have a great rest of your day. And oh, we're getting one more Q&A. People logging off. What if we currently have physical therapy? Will that be able to be transferred over?
It would depend on what plan you're choosing and whether that provider is in or out of network. So we'll have to check that once we know what plan you're interested in and who the provider is. Just let me know and I can check.
So a vote on the proposal will have to wait until after negotiations are finished up because it's still an economic piece of that plan. So without divulging too much, as I'm on the negotiating team for AFSCME, we do still have some meetings set out until about mid-March is where we have dates to finish up with our negotiations. We have high hopes. The negotiation process has been going really well. It could be done earlier, but I'd say mid-March is probably a good time frame. So the proposal for the vote would actually be included in the ratification of the contract vote. It would be bundled in as one. And so it would probably be happening sometime in mid-March by my guess.
So the question is there, does the district provide both Anthem HMO and Anthem PPO as options? And the answer is going to be yes.
All the questions are coming in now. You tried to run out of here too quick, Crystal.
I did. Obviously I'm double booked. So, okay, everyone have a fabulous rest of the day. And I'll see this team tonight for a night version of this same webinar. So have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.